Everybody is worried about Clover Health and when they think it could explode. Here's what I think could happen, where I think the stock is headed, and a variety of other factors. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video like this. Check out our Webull link if you guys want to pick up some free stocks with Webull, and check out our Patreon link if you guys want to join our private Discord. But other than that, guys, let's get right into this video. Alrighty guys, here we are with Clover Health Investments. As you can see here, sitting around $12.97, down unfortunately about 5.95% on the day. That's of course the intraday trading day of June 25th, which of course was Friday. Today is of course Saturday. That is the day that this video is going up. And overall, you know, a lot of people right now are very worried about Clover because we have seen, for the most part, a little bit of red. But if you look, again, we're still up 6.57%, you know, over the past 5 days. Again, if we go to the month, we're still up 76.94%. And even if you didn't get in at those price levels, you have to remember, this stock right now is one of the most talked about stocks all over the internet, okay? Wall Street Bets, it is non-stop being talked about on that platform. If you look at YouTube, it is one of the top resulting search topics on the platform. If you look at Twitter, tons of people are talking about this on Twitter. Our comment sections on TikTok and Instagram are filled with people talking about Clover, okay? This stock is still heavily talked about by retail traders, okay? This is still a heavily invested in stock as far as emotions go, with overall retail sentiment. A lot of retail traders still very much like this stock, and they're still waiting and expecting a short squeeze. When that's going to happen, again, nobody knows. But we have all kinds of evidence at our disposal. We have all kinds of tools at our disposal to help mitigate risk and figure out what the best position to be in for when that does hopefully occur. Again, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees in life or in the stock market or anything like that. But with Clover Health, I feel that if I have some money laying around that I'm willing to lose, that I want to gamble, that I want to put into this stock and see, hey, maybe it'll short squeeze one day and all of a sudden I'll turn my $500 into a couple thousand or 1,000 maybe. Who knows? We'll have to see, guys. But I think that that's something that's worth mentioning. Now in today's video, I want to go over an article that I found that kind of, in my opinion, is a little bit weird because it kind of pits these like two stocks against each other that I think really are so unrelated to begin with. And overall, again, the Motley Fool is kind of hit or miss sometimes, guys, so, you know, keep that in mind. Basically, they just go, here's a case for Tilray versus Clover Health. Okay, we have Tilray, Clover Health, blah, blah, blah. We all know what Clover Health does. It's a health company, heavily shorted. You know, we're all familiar. Better Robinhood stock. That's fascinating that they're calling Clover Health a Robinhood stock. In my opinion, this is more than just a Robinhood stock. I think most people would agree. But let's read into it a little bit. I think that investors would be wise to take heed of Clover Health's recent warning that its share price may rapidly decline due to an apparent short squeeze. Because of the crazy volatility with the stock right now, I think that Tilray is a safer pick. All right, listen, nothing in the stock market is a safe pick, right? There's risk in everything. There's risk inherent in every decision you make in the stock market, every single investment that you make, okay? Just because one stock has a statement that's been put out about from the actual founder of the company, who has said that if there is a short squeeze, not saying that the short squeeze has even occurred yet, because in my mind it hasn't, and in my opinion it hasn't, and it seems that everybody else can agree that we're nowhere close to being in a short squeeze yet with Clover Health. You know, of course stocks can pull back. Okay, this is not unheard of. And Clover Health did have a bit of a run up and it pulled back. And this is not something that's absolutely crazy. We saw this with GameStop, we saw this with AMC. We've seen this with every other stock, okay? This is expected, this is warranted. But what's more fascinating to me is that after these initial run-ups, if you look at GameStop, if you look at AMC, if you look after about a month, maybe a couple weeks even, or a couple months, depends on the stock you're looking at, there tends to be a renewed interest in price action. All of a sudden, the price action starts to kind of wane into the positive kind of slope. And then one day, one random day, the stars will somehow align. There will somehow be, maybe there's a catalyst involved, maybe there's something going on. And honestly, just a one positive piece of news that will overall affect the stock market, the stock price in a positive direction will occur, and all of a sudden, the price will go crazy. It'll go parabolic again. We saw that happen with AMC. We saw that happen with GameStop after the original run-ups that we've seen. It's possible, it's entirely possible that these stocks can run after they've had their initial run up, because a lot of people discount the fact that, oh, they've already ran up, they're too high, it's gonna fall down, it's overvalued. Is it though? Are they though? Because if you look at these other stocks, they're holding. They're holding at very interesting support levels. They're holding at these higher support levels than what they were, a month or two ago. And it seems like they're going to continue to do that. Whether or not they're going to continue to explode, who knows? But this is just a pattern that I've noticed and something that I think is worth watching. The rest of this article just kind of goes into this mundane kind of diatribe about, meme stocks and what they are and everything. But you know what? I just wanted to cover this because I think it's interesting, and I think that a lot of people need to change their perspective on meme stocks. I think that meme stocks are not something that, the average investor is necessarily familiar with as they claim to be. I think they just look at AMC and go, it's stupid, I'm not putting my money in that. I have money in index funds. I have money in blue chip stocks. Like, who cares? But you got to understand, like, this is an entirely different way of investing. This is an entirely different strategy of investing that, for the most part, investors haven't seen for the last couple of years. These incredibly speculative plays, but they also tend to work out because of retail sentiment, because of the people factor, because of humans, which I think is extraordinarily fascinating. I can't wait for all of the documentaries to be made, a couple of years about all of this. But let's quick jump into the price action, just because I know you guys like to see the technicals and everything that's going on currently with the stock. As you can see here, this is the last intraday trading session. Overall, we saw Clove kind of just move in kind of a relatively flat day. Our high, we hit about $13.76. Pulled back a little bit and unfortunately dropped off in power hour into the close, and the close just kind of grinded and just kind of did nothing really. We have the same thing in pre-market though. Pre-market just grinded down, and we were at a $14 high here, which was really impressive. A lot of Clove investors were like, oh yeah, let's go, it's gonna go higher. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but hey, this is a big patience game, like I always talk about it being. Let's plot to the 10-day here. As you can see here, and I talked about this in a previous video actually, where I almost, if I'm really pushing it, if I'm really pushing my luck here, I almost would say that there's a cup and handle forming here. Maybe. We have the first part of the cup, second part of the cup, possibly the handle, but again, there needs to be a V. There needs to be another V. There needs to be another recovery over the next couple of intraday trading sessions, and whether or not that's gonna happen, we don't know obviously. But if that does happen, we all know that the cup and handle, right, means usually that's a pattern. That's a not, but it's not guaranteed to happen. Nothing is guaranteed to happen. And this is not financial advice. Please guys, this is not financial advice. Do not make investment decisions based off this video. We're not financial advisors. We never claim to be. We never tell you guys what to buy or what to sell. We just give information. We just like to help you guys learn about different things going on in the stock market. And hopefully, better your guys' financial literacy and overall literacy when it comes to stocks. But other than that, a little side tangent there. RSI sitting around at the 36 level, getting real close to the 30 level, getting real close to being oversold. Something that's interesting to watch, because again, the RSI tells you when things are overbought, when things are oversold, and when things are tend to be oversold. If you kind of back test off patterns, here you can see this is when the stock was oversold, heavily oversold. We had a nice little run here, all the way up to a 60 level RSI. And kind of a higher price target. Now again, that's not any major moves. If you want to see a major move, here we have RSI 22 level, way beyond oversold. People who bought here and held, 86 RSI. We saw up here, $13. Bought in at 11, sold at 13. I buy the dips, okay? On every stock, every investment that I do, I buy the dips because I like getting good deals and I like having good cost averages. I like having a decent amount of shares at a good average, so that way for the most days I'm either up, whether it's a little bit or maybe a lot, but it helps my mindset and psychology when it comes to the stock market. It helps me not panic sell. It helps me not think, oh my God, I'm in the worst position ever. I buy the dips, and it really helps overall psychologically. If we look at the MACD, just a last little note here, blue line still kind of below the brown line, but it's starting to peak over this brown line. So that will be something we'll have to watch next week as far as price action goes and whether or not there will be another breakout. But it looks like, guys, that's pretty much it for Clove. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video like this. Again, guys, check out our Webull link if you guys want to pick up some free stocks with Webull, and check out our Patreon link if you guys want to join our private Discord. But other than that, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro. Take it easy.